I am such a proponent of inclusive environments, but I am concerned that the inclusion movement does not talk about the curriculum getting harder. And to that point, have been working with a 15-year-old, 16-year-old in high school. He's a junior in high school, and he's reading The Crucible right now, and he actually cannot understand it. So yesterday we met, yesterday afternoon, and we talked about how when he gets confused, it triggers anxiety, and that confusion and anxiety go hand in hand. If you can't understand what you're learning, you will feel anxiety, and we need to look specifically at curriculum. If any behaviorally minded folks are out there, or psychologists, school-based educational psychologists, and you're doing observations for behavior plans, I really recommend that you observe when in the curriculum the person is having more behavior challenges, because often you will see a pattern between when the curriculum gets too hard and the person dysregulating, often triggered from anxiety and stress. Each anxiety needs a specific type of treatment. And so if we're going to use curriculum-based anxiety as an example of that, I've been working the last couple of weeks with this student, as I just mentioned, this 15-year-old who's really struggling with reading comprehension. In his junior year, he has a diagnosis of anxiety, depression, and a very late diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder, which he received last year. And he rarely asks for help, but 2 weeks ago he told me he was really having a hard time. So as I started looking at this with him, I spent we read 3 paragraphs, the first 3 opening paragraphs of The Crucible, and it took 45 minutes, and he could not understand it. Sentence by sentence, I had to go through it with him. Obviously, that is super stressful for the client, creating personal anxiety, stressors. And so the strategy for that was for me to work with him and actually one of his teachers at school to help him understand that using Cliff Notes is actually okay. His brain is never going to understand this without somebody giving him a sense of what this is about. Give an overview, go read the Cliff Notes, and then come back and now start to read the text with an understanding of how to try to plug in the parts you can understand to your basic concept. This was hard for him because he thought that was cheating, so we had to go through a lot of understanding. Hey, your brain doesn't make this easy for you. Curriculum is not designed to be a punishment. It's not supposed to totally be a stressor for you. So that's one type of anxiety.